like, and who I think will do good in the playoffs and who will fall off very early. Now, I'm going to start in the NL East, where in my opinion the Mets have an absolute lock on winning the NL East. It would have to take a miracle for the Atlanta Braves to come back and win it. The roll that the Mets are on right now, winning 5 in a row, being 8-2 over the last 10 games, I think the Mets have definitely got that division locked away. And I think that once they get to the postseason, considering that they have Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer anchoring down that rotation, the best two-headed monster in the sport, maybe in baseball, maybe not in baseball history, but definitely in the sport right now.
And the Mets have won 15, I believe, of their last 17 games. So they've only lost 2. 1 to the Nationals, 1 to the Braves.
Yep. And then to the NL Central, where I think,
It's pretty tight.
it's tight. It really
It's
is.
tight. Is there any team above 60 wins in the Central now, right?
60 wins on the dot is the Cardinals.
Cardinals, and that's it. The whole NL Central's fallen off.
But whether or not I think it will be Milwaukee or,
St. Louis, because we already know the other 3 teams are not making it.
yeah, the Cubs are not.
The Pirates somehow.
I mean, if you look at the run differential of the Cardinals,
the Cardinals are like plus.
their run differential is plus 73.
Compare that to the Dodgers run differential.
You look at the run differential of the Philadelphia Phillies, who right now are the third string in the NL East. The Phillies have a plus 75. I mean, this division is one of the worst divisions I've seen.
All time, basically.
Not of all time, because there's still, well, I think the NL East and the NL West and the AL East and the AL West, the Mets are going to win the NL East, the Dodgers are going to win the NL West, the Yankees are going to win the AL East, and the Astros are going to win the AL West. It's almost impossible for that not all to happen. But the Central has teams that could go either way.
Like the
Cardinals,
Brewers. The AL Central, Guardians, White Sox, and Twins are in there.
I do think that now that Milwaukee traded Josh Hader away, I think that the Cardinals will win.
Since Josh Hader's trade, the Brewers bullpen has had over a 6 ERA since Josh Hader's been traded. They are only 2-4 since.
Horrible
2-4 and 2-5
trade deadline for the Milwaukee Brewers.
They did not get
And
back.
It comes to show as over their last 10, they are 4-6. And over the Cardinals' last 10, they are 8-2.
The Cardinals got smacked by the Rockies last night. So
Now, for the NL West, we already know the Dodgers are winning. We have a 9-game win streak, 9-1, and we have the best record in all of baseball. So, without further, let's move on to the AL East, where the Yankees are easily going to win and the Astros are easily going to win the West.
how much is the team behind the Yankees? How many games?
10.5.
Okay.
So it's not even close.
Not even close unless the Yankees hit a massive losing streak. And who's the team behind the
And
Yankees?
they have hit a massive losing streak.
They hit 5, right?
3-7 over their last 10.
And who's behind the Yankees?
Behind the Yankees are the Blue Jays, and they are the head wild card team.
Head wild card team, alright. If you need the wild card, I can pull that up too.
Now, yeah, I got the wild card on there. Now for the AL Central, this is one giant toss-up.
It's like 3 teams that could probably make it.
3-team race, as it always seems to be in the Central. The dumpster fire division back at it again.
The worst division in baseball this year, again.
Now, remember when the Cardinals who were leading were only plus 73?
Yeah.
The Minnesota Twins plus 20.
That's the first place team, right?
Tied for first with the Cleveland Indians.
Guardians.
Indians.
Indians.
So, I think it'll come down to the Indians, Minnesota, and White Sox, obviously.
But which team do you think is going to take it all? That's the main question. I'm just going to say this now. The White Sox are out of this. They lost Tim Anderson.
To what?
I think something with his hand.
How long?
I don't know. I'd have to check. So, if you want to check, you have to go.
Yeah, I
You
know.
have to click on it. Just go. I think it's 60 days, but I'm not that sure.
Ooh,
That's basically the rest of the season.
Anderson out.
Anderson out, and they
Out
still.
of all these teams, the White Sox should be killing everybody. They have the most talented organization in the AL Central.
They should be.
Easily, Eloy Jimenez.
Eloy's hurt too, I think.
I think Eloy came back.
I think. We're not sure.
They have the best pitching with Dylan Cease.
Cease has been good.
Cease has been elite. They have Lance Lynn too, right?
And who?
Lance Lynn.
Yeah, he just came back in last month.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the Indians and the White Sox have the best. But the White Sox have a negative 13 run differential.
That means the Guardians are probably like +5. Maybe like negative. Never know.
What?
What is the Guardians? Right,
11.
+11 or -11?
Plus 11. Horrible. Horrible.
This division is the worst.
Horrible. But I think the Indians will crack. They'll fold like a folding table. Minnesota, however,
Might.
will win the division. The White Sox. I mean, I think it's a toss-up between Minnesota and the White Sox, really. I
Now
think Minnesota will prevail.
we're on to the cheating Astros in the AL.
And then not even win a game in the... No, we already got the AL West, the Astros. Now for the wild card. Alright, so we've got Atlanta is 4 games ahead of everybody in the wild
Just
card.
say the top 3 teams.
Philadelphia is a game ahead of San Diego.
San Diego collapsed.
San Diego is the 3rd string. Now Milwaukee, I think
There's 6 wild
this is
card
a
spots.
4-team race, I think.
It's MLB Central, I think. There's 3, 4, 5, and a 60, so there's 4 teams.
No,
Um,
there's 3.
There's 3?
There's 3 teams.
Oh, right. Because Mets, so right now, the Mets and Dodgers are going to bye for the wild card, and the Cardinals will play it in the wild card spot this year. That's how the rules work this year.
Oh, that's weird.
I know.
I still think it's just going to be 2 teams. But
3 teams, it gets more opportunities to get into the postseason.
this wild card is kind of interesting. Because, you have, Milwaukee and San Diego, Philadelphia, and Atlanta are the only 4 teams in the race.
Everybody else
3 spots. I think Atlanta will win will be in it.
So you're saying Atlanta's going to be the head wild card team?
Yes. Which would mean they would probably play the 2nd team, is what I'm guessing.
I think it's Atlanta Cardinal. And then it's Milwaukee. Who's the second? And it's Philly, Atlanta. I think it's
Wait, so
Cardinal.
is there even going to be an NLDS?
There will be a DS. The Mets will play whoever's in the 4 and 6 seed right now. That's the I'm not even sure. Let's screw this. This is complicated.
Very weird the way the structure of the playoffs this year. They could have just keep it simpler. Like always, Robert Manfred ruining baseball. Like always, this is horrible. Unbelievable. Later today, after I make this video, I will come out with a rant video about everything Robert Manfred has done to baseball.
You know the head of baseball office is in New York City, right?
I'm going there right now.
That's where MLB headquarters is located.
Unbelievable.
The universal DH pissed me off.
Everything that Manfred has done.
Everything. They couldn't. Why does it have to be a DH?
No sense. Alrighty. So I think the Giants, being 6.5 games out, have no chance. That makes
Not having that year that they had last year with the 101 win season.
no, definitely not. They're the only disappointing team, I think, in the National League.
Really?
Besides the Brewers and the Cardinals.
Which team is the most disappointing team in baseball? That's any team. Pick one from each league. Pick one.
Giants from the NL.
And AL. The Giants
From the AL?
from the AL. Just pick any team that you think could have been better with that. For me, it's the Tigers. They literally signed Baez, Tucker Barnhart.
For me, it's the Angels.
Really? Oh, sure, they did. They dealt Syndergaard at the deadline for.
So I think the three teams in the wild card for the NL will be the Braves,
They're not gonna.
San Diego, and Milwaukee.
I agree.
As much as I want to see Philly in it,
It's not.
I think that it's going to fall off.
Philly, just like last year, they had the wild card hold into September, and they fell off.
Now for the AL.
Any team that you think
This is a big race.
any team that you think
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 team race. And you could make an argument that there's an 8th team in Boston.
Boston is falling apart this year.
What?
Boston's falling apart. So maybe do you think Baltimore's gonna come and take this wild card? I doubt it.
They're only a half a game back.
Ooh, that's good. Baltimore.
Over their last 10 games, over every team in the stretch, I'll say 8, even though
Just say
being that Boston's 5 games out, it would really take a whole miracle for them to
it would need to take the third place team. Who's the third place team in the wild card?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay needs to lose a lot of games, like 5 or 6. If Boston can win 6 straight, they're in this wild card. But
Boston has to go at least 8-2 over the next 10 to be
in the wild card,
even considered.
a wild card team.
To even be considered to be in the race.
They dealt Vasquez at the deadline. They got Hosmer
Because
and they got Finn.
their trade deadline was the most confusing out of.
And they were a seller and they were buying. The Giants were just straight sellers, but they only sold Darren Ruff to the Mets. I think was that all they did.
Yeah, they didn't even trade Rodon.
Rodon has a club option, so he could take the option if he wants.
But I like Baltimore is not looking half bad. Over their last 10 games, they have had the best record out of any team in contention for the wild card.
So before they call up
In
Rutschman,
fact, no, they've had the best over the last 10 in the whole league.
what is their last 10 record?
7-3. The Yankees were 5-5. No, the Astros were 5-5. The Yankees were 3-7. The Indians were 6-4. Minnesota was 5-5. Toronto was 5-5. Seattle was 5-5. Tampa Bay was 5-5. Baltimore was 7-3.
Okay, we go.
Cleveland was 6-4.
Got it.
Minnesota was 5-5, and the White Sox were 6-4.
So, wow. Not the best in baseball. The Dodgers have that one.
No, but very, very, very good over the last 10 games. I mean, I would love to see them make it, but I don't think they will.
Ever since
I think it will stay exactly how it is now. Toronto, Seattle, and Tampa.
Ever since they called up Rutschman, before the Rutschman was called, they were 26-34. After Rutschman, they're like 40 something and 20 something after Rutschman was called
That
up.
is insane.
Rutschman did something.
So, that's it for who can make the playoffs.